This episode brought to you by Chime, the award-winning app and debit card that can save you money today. The awesome store is back open and we got deals on DVDs, autographs, and more. Click the link in the description. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it so you don't have to. Well, December 25th has come and gone, Christmas is an afterthought. Let's return to a franchise that sees itself as exactly the same thing. Home Sweet Home Alone is the 6th Home Alone movie. It was released in 2021 on Disney Plus and is said by many to be the worst of the bunch. I can't say that in a world where there's a sequel where a mouse looks through a telescope, sees a cat on TV, and squeaks, eek, and runs back. Yeah, I can't do that. I've seen them all. This is not the worst one. I will say, though, it is maybe the worst creative choice out of all of them. We'll get to that when we get to that, but in comparison to many of the other sequels, this was getting more laughs than I expected. It actually has writers and a director from very successful comedic properties. So I was impressed there were some decent jokes in this. But the key word is some. This is still a pretty bad flick. So what makes it so bad? Oh, you know what makes it so bad. It's the 6th Home Alone movie, Jesus! But okay, what makes it uniquely bad compared to the other sequels? Well, let's take a closer look. Let's just end it. This is Home Sweet Home Alone. It starts with a couple trying to sell their house named Pam and Jeff McKinsey, played by Ellie Kemper and Rob Delaney. And if you're thinking, isn't that a lot of funny people on screen for a Home Alone sequel? You're right. This movie has a surprisingly funny cast. On top of Kemper and Delaney, you got Kenan Thompson, Pete Holmes, Chris Parnell, Ashley B, Andy Daly. Even Escher Pavitsky just has a walk-on part as one of the people looking at the house. I guess she has an attraction to projects with Alone in the title that nobody seems to watch. And yes, all of them are trying to make this DOA movie work, and like I said before, they can get some laughs.
If those are load-bearing walls, the whole place could collapse.
It's not a Jenga tower, Jeff.
It's not a Jenga tower, Jeff.
Also give some credit to Archie Yates, who's playing our lead, Max. He's got some comedic background also, and works well reacting off of others.
Maxwell Johann Mercer.
Carol Ellen Mercer.
No McDonald's for you on the way home.
You can't promise a kid McDonald's and not deliver.
This won't be so bad. Maybe this will be the Home Alone sequel that has more than one Tim Curry. Max uses the bathroom at the open house, and when he doesn't get along with Jeff, he apparently steals one of his antique dolls, the Jake Tucker model with nightmare filling. And we find the McKinseys want to keep the fact that they're selling the house secret from their kids.
Hey, I thought you were gonna call after the movie was over. Oh no, we just took an Uber.
It was Home Alone 3, so we left early. So while the writing isn't always bad and the actors' deliveries are good, for some reason this movie thinks it's shown in front of a live audience and leaves way too much dead air. If you watch this scene with a laugh track, it works okay, I guess.
You good? I'm doing some thinking, you know? This is a very good spot.
But when you take away that laugh track, the void of emptiness just eats you inside out.
This is a very good spot for thinking.
I had to put that scene out of its misery. As you probably guessed, tons of family members are cramped into one house and Max is often tossed aside because of it.
I'm sick of this bullshit! We don't have to tell Santa about that, right, Gooby?
Let's do a count of things that are probably going to be traps in the third act. I'm already sick of counting them. Even when this movie does their tropes fine, I'm so sick of seeing them. He goes into the car to watch some, well, non-Disney material. Maybe this was part of the Warner Snow White trade with Gremlins. And hey, I recognize that pizza. I always give him a good tip when I heard the delivery boy made life hell for the nerd.
I always thought we'd get old and weird in this house.
The Mackenzies talk about how unfortunate it is that they have to sell their house because of their financial troubles. Things don't get better when Jeff's brother drops by unannounced and brings more really drawn-out jokes with him.
Here she is. Oh, careful.
Here's a coupon for your time back. Use it well. While searching the internet, Jeff finds his terrifying MacGuffin is worth a fortune, but of course he can't find it. He puts together Max stole it, who is, you guessed it, still asleep in the garage while the family goes on vacation without him. Hey, what's the difference between a scene of adults intentionally sounding lame and a scene of adults unintentionally sounding lame?
Best in the state. They are totally lit.
Hey, Bethany, is this a good time for a selfie in front of an Uber?
Hashtag ill-judged.
Absolutely nothing, they're both unfunny. Jeff tells Pam about the doll being worth a fortune while performing bells at an old folks' home. Okay, that's an original spot for exposition.
Still against the law, Jeff.
Like a light bulb.
Oh my gosh, this is so terrible.
Also, like the best Home Alone moments, the funniest scenes are when they're just plain mean.
I don't want my husband spending Christmas in jail.
Yippee!
Hey!
Wow, sounds like garbage.
Herman, no, none of that.
Well, it does.
It's okay, Martha.
Don't blame her. That's you.
Sorry.
Shame on you.
Just being mean to be mean is great. For the most part, again, we'll get to that. Max discovers he's been left home alone, and he, of course, acts all crazy like in the other movies. Yeah, okay, let's be real. If a kid had no parents around, the first thing he would do is look up porn.
All right, Internet, show me your worst. Well played, Mum and Dad.
Okay, I'm adding a star to this movie because you're the first Home Alone to actually address that. Okay, 2/3 a star. He dresses in his parents' clothes. Really don't remember his mom being the same height as him. And he reenacts Scarface. Okay, he asked an elf on a shelf not to tell Santa he swore, but he knows Scarface. Also, is his mom an heiress to the M&M empire? Where did he get all that candy? Don't worry though, you can like this reboot because they acknowledge reboots are dumb.
To get your ugly, yellow, no good
Oh,
keister.
this is garbage. I don't know why they were always trying to remake the classics.
You know, when Orson Welles says here under protest is beef burgers, it doesn't really put me in the mood to enjoy beef burgers. Matrix 4. Not that I expect a Home Alone sequel to be subtle.
Whoa! Ho! Nearly lost your house there, Pamela Ding Dong.
If only the gingerbread family had steady candy income, or a gumdrop doll stolen by a gingerbread boy.
We get it, bro!
Oh, don't pretend you're Home Alone. I mean, I know you're technically Home Alone, but don't pretend you're Home Alone. It does lead to a funny moment where Pam imagines everybody telling her to save the house, including the stolen doll.
We have the key.
Pam, you have to call me. Hi, Gavin Watson, realtor
No,
extraordinaire.
Fräulein! No!
You know, the idea of making a 6th Home Alone does seem like a nightmare, so why not shoot this like a fever dream? They go out into the storm to see if they can break into the house and get the doll back. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking, okay, they'll try this once and obviously fail, leading to comedic hijinks. And even though this isn't particularly funny, the two of them, I do buy as an awkward couple having never committed a crime. It is kind of adorable.
I watched an episode of Locked Up earlier today on demand.
Let's go get it! Can you unlock the door?
Yeah.
I even, believe it or not, buy Buzz returning as a police officer. I'll be honest, after 2, I want to see him evolve into an insane rich businessman, but a cop abusing his power? In Chicago? That ain't far-fetched.
I'm so sorry we wasted your time.
It's also clever that the couple acts like it's their home, and when they're not arrested, the kid thinks he can't trust the police because they'll find out he's home alone and put his mom away.
Why did you have to tell anyone, Max?
Also, when Buzz is told there's a child left behind in the house, he thinks it's a prank because his brother Kevin, who now owns the security company, keeps pranking him.
That is a prank call. My little brother, Kevin, he called in the 289 to mess with me. The idiot does it every year.
Okay, aside from that being crazy illegal to do, in fact, maybe he's the one that grew up into the rich, crazy businessman, I still find a lot of this reasoning pretty funny. So far, I'm still on board enough. It's stupid, but it's getting more chuckles than some of the other sequels, and I'm weirdly buying the excuses for how they're repeating the same scenario. Repeating some of these lines, though.
Trout snapper.
Just like the real language a cop would use.
Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
Fear not, we need only 90 more callbacks to officially be a Christmas Story sequel. Yet somehow it'd still have less than Home Alone 2.
Hey, Money, you doing okay?
Leave me alone. I don't
You
want to
watch your
talk to you.
mouth, Money.
You think
I'm
you're
looking out
something?
for you.
You're nothing.
You live in
You're a whole bunch of
and you
nothing.
gotta
You know
respect
there's
me.
nothing,
You gotta-
and then there's you.
You shouldn't have to worry about money. Money can't buy you happiness, but not worrying about money can come close. That's where Chime can help you smile more. They were just named the #1 most loved banking app, with payday up to 2 days early and fee-free overdrafts up to $200. They offer financial peace of mind in your wallet. All of this with no annual fees, large security deposits, or credit checks to apply.
Hey, Money, I'm sorry. Can we start over?
You just go right where you're gonna go. You go to the thing, you go to it.
See for yourself why Chime is so loved at chime.com/nostalgia. That's chime.com/nostalgia. Here's some really fast stuff in a silly voice.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stripe Bank, N.A. members, FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. See chime.com/spotme. Chime with the 2021 #1 most downloaded banking app in the U.S. according to Apptopia.
I love you.
It's time to chime. Watch Doug play Ratchet & Clank 2016 every Friday on Twitch. We also have content 6 days a week. Hope to see you there. Go to church on Christmas Eve. Now I know they aren't the real crooks. Real crooks don't walk into church. They burst into salt that turns into mummies. When a realtor tells them they got a bite on the house.
But I've got some news. Houston, we have an offer.
You know, if you're gonna make a joke about dated 90s references.
It's not 1993. What's your next idea? Should I beep him after I listen to the new MC Hammer joint?
Maybe don't make dated 90s references later.
Houston, we have an offer.
Oh wait, what am I talking about? This is clearly a callback to Home Alone 3.
Houston, we have a problem.
This means they have even less time to get the doll. I mean, what, do they think a buyer's instantly gonna snatch it up as soon as they post it online? I don't think someone bought this one yet, he was looking up. And they try sneaking in again to get it.
Why is the wall so high? It's not like it's Buckingham Palace.
It's at this point your stomach might be sinking as you're thinking to yourself, no, they're not gonna be the robbers throughout the whole thing, are they? No, that clearly can't work. It's way too dumb. They're gonna stumble across Keanu Reeves and William Hurt and all will be right. They have to, because by God, these two as criminals.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, there's really not much to say except it's not funny. They play Fall on Your Knees like that's somehow gonna elevate the humor, but it makes as much sense as playing heavenly music during the Dumb and Dumber toilet scene. Because that scene is perfect the way it is and nothing can save this one. There's a cute fake out where they break into the wrong house, but that just makes this all feel like an even bigger waste of time. Because they decide later they're just gonna come back the same night. Max overhears this and of course sets up all the traps. Do you have to play this music? We know you're not gonna recapture the magic of the first one. Hell, even when they tried it with the second one, they still didn't recapture the magic. You think 6 is the lucky one that's finally gonna pull it off? Jeff dresses up like Santa Claus because I guess they're stealing part 1 of Marv and Harry's plan.
It's Santa Claus. And it's Elf.
Again, it's not like they haven't stolen enough from the first film. But the car crashes because Max sprayed water not on the driveway, but the entire street. Yeah, just ignore that pile of cars stacked up next to him and this scene's hilarious. Actually, no, it's not, because as many critics before me have pointed out, having these two as the antagonists for the third act makes no sense. We like seeing Harry and Marv get their comeuppance because they're bad people doing bad things. In fact, Kevin hurts them so much we almost feel sorry for them. But again, almost, they're still bad people. This is just a sweet couple trying to save their house. I don't want to laugh at them. I want them to save their friggin' house.
Orange stripe, center pocket.
No.
Screw you, you little brat, you little doll-stealing brat. I'm not on your side at all. And that's the other thing. When this kid has someone to work off of as a relatable antagonist, even if it's just his mom, he works. He knows how to give a verbal insult a good verbal comeback. When he's just saying one-liners while this bad slapstick is happening, he doesn't pull it off.
Bombs away! You know, I guess my mom was right. Soda is bad for you.
We'll see about that.
See ya.
I can't blame him, this is just an awful scenario. The traps are laid out for comedy, and that's exactly what I think they're torturing with it. Comedy.
He's hurting me, Pam.
Me too.
Why is he doing this to us, Pam?
That'd be hilarious if Marv said that to Harry, but here it's just pathetically sad.
One.
I haven't laughed this hard since Angela's Ashes. Why is this supposed to be entertaining? Maybe from like a dark, twisted standpoint, somebody thought this could work. Like I remember hearing about a sequel Chris Columbus wanted to do where Kevin, as an adult, tries breaking into Marv and Harry's house after they've reformed and he's gone mad. Hell, a lot of parodies of the first film have been made in a dark and twisted way that make a lot more sense and get a lot more wonderfully mean-spirited laughs. That is not what is happening with this film, though.
Harry Potter turned me into a pincushion.
Even the traps are kind of lame.
Am I dead? Is this dead?
Oh! That's too high, I'm up too high.
Oh. Yeah, oh no, I'm on a cliff! A very pixely, screenish looking cliff with this weight over my eyes. This is awful! So yeah, when people talk about this being the worst one, these are probably the moments they're referring to. It's actually kind of unbelievable to think a franchise that has done this formula 5 other times could mess up the basic qualifications so spectacularly. Their family's losing their home. Idiots! That'll teach you to, I don't know, have your kids grow up in a warm, nostalgic house. Why do you want me to laugh at this?
We just want our doll back.
What doll?
Finally, somebody gets a clue and says something. As it turns out, he doesn't have the doll. It just looked like he stole it. Oh, and it also turns out they didn't know he was there alone.
If we had known you were staying here by yourself, we would have handled things a lot differently.
We would have just sniper shot you. It would have been a lot easier. Isn't this just what you wanted to see? The little boy fighting off the house burglars, embracing the house burglars. Was the trout you were sniffing full of glue?
So you go to this kid's house.
They explain everything to Jeff's brother, which, Jesus Christ, I'm having a hard time explaining this to you. I can't imagine how they did it. And it turns out the doll was taken by the brother's kid the whole time. Oh, so the lesson is it doesn't matter where you live. It's all about the love you show each other. Nope, they're still beating the shit out of each other trying to get this thing. Yay, the doll is saved just as Mom gets home. So we've learned people are important. I mean, money and property are far more important, but I don't know, this is a bad movie. Gotta love the way they try to justify the title, though.
Home is where the heart is. Sweet home, Alabama.
Homer's Odyssey. Where do they wind up at the end?
Home. They end up at home.
It's a wonderful Home Alone. 3 minutes to credits, man. We get 3 minutes to credits. You know, why didn't Marv and Harry have dinner with Kevin afterwards? Dumb!
To new friends and family.
To break-ins, not willing to let go, and a movie none of us will be putting on our resumes. And that was not the worst, but arguably the most intriguingly bad Home Alone sequel. It really is one of those scenarios where you shout, what were they thinking? The movie wasn't great, but it was passable for a while as a little Disney Plus flick. When you finally realize, though, the bad guys are also the good guys, all the fun is sucked out. Not that it was a ton before, but it was enough. But hey, if there's anything I've learned about these films, it's that there's never enough. And there's always another one to make whether we want one or not. Though with this one, I do appreciate they put more effort into it than some of the others. The missteps are just way too big to overlook. If the original is what you watch to get in the magical Christmas mood, then this is the corporate, misguided sellout to bring you back to reality. Ho, ho, ho. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and I'll see you at No Way Home Alone. Tell me they wouldn't make that!
Trout sniffer.
It's Cameo for Charity, and this month we're doing Toys for Tots. So if you want a video of me saying happy birthday, Merry Christmas, congrats, or whatever, go ahead and click on the link below and know you'll be giving to a good cause. With that said, I usually do Toys for Tots for December, and part of that is because of this funny story that happened when we were shooting the review of Christmas with the Cranks. I share it every year, and this year is going to be no different. Hey everybody, Doug Walker here doing the charity shoutout, and I have a funny story for you. When we were shooting this review, we were outside about to shoot a scene with Nostalgia Critic and Santa Christ, and this car pulls up, and they pull right into our parking spot, and we don't recognize the people, and they get out, and we say, "Can we help you?" And they say, Toys for Tots. I drop it off Toys for Tots. No, we're not Toys for Tots. And they're looking at us like, "Are you sure?" And we said, "Yeah, we're sure. Why would we know where Toys for Tots are?" And they said, "Well, 'cause you got a guy dressed like Santa Claus there."
Oh, no! Unrelated, amazingly.
Totally unrelated. So, bizarrely enough, they were driving around looking for Toys for Tots, and we happened to come outside with a guy dressed as Santa Claus. What are the chances? And I took it as a sign. There you go. So, click on the link in the description, get a cameo from me, and be giving to a wonderful organization.
Donate to Toys for Tots.
Yes, it's a good organization.
Santa Christ approves.